guys! I know you are not used to getting videos from me, but today is a first. We are doing new things today. I'm gonna ask you on forehand to keep this video in the small group. This is just because we are discussing the Date Talk book. Now, since you all know I love reading, I love researching, and I love writing, I have been busy today and this past week with thinking about the Date Talk book, and I'm gonna send you a sermon or like a talk if you have time that you can listen to. There's gonna be a nice addition to this series. I loved it and I really enjoyed it, so I would highly recommend it. But first things first, the reason I am making a video today for you is naar aanleiding from our small group on Monday. So Monday we talked about Sunday's sermon on opposite sex, and in that sermon Trevor talked about the neurobiological differences between men and women. For example, men's brain are larger than women's brain, but a woman's brain has more white matter and is more connected than men's brains are. Men's brains are more analytical, while women's brains they are more into problem solving, and they connect everything to such a level they can easily go from one part of the brain to the next. So our corpus callosum works better, so we can more go from the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain and do it even quicker. Then we talked about the learned behavior and the social roles of men and women, and the roles of men and women and design in the Bible as well. So that was basically a short summary of the sermon. Now, there are vast differences between men and women. We all know that. It starts in the genetics. There is already a difference in chromosomes there. Now, what I want to share with you today has a lot to do with what we discussed about on small group. It was a very, very awesome small group. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And I learned a lot about you guys and from you guys as well. And I was glad to hear all of your opinions. Now, even though we had different sides to them, and some of our opinions really were opposites, that's okay. That's what small groups for. We process things together and we learn from each other. Now, with that said, we talked about and zoomed in on a statement that Trevor made about covering up, and how women need to cover themselves up, and how men shouldn't, when women are a bit more emotional and are more about connection, for example, when they talk, that men shouldn't take women to, for example, a nice cozy coffee shop, and where it's romantic, soft music playing in the background, candles that are lighting up the room, while they have no intention with women, because they create an expectation through the emotional environment that they place us in. Now, we had a sort of a discussion about that, and I've been thinking, and to actually clarify that a bit, I wanted to make this video and I wanted to ask you some questions. So before we start with the questions, we are going to talk about this on Monday a bit more in small group. So just think about it, write some things down for yourself, okay? First of all, I want to let you know that the Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, that means you need to love yourself first before you can love others, right? So I want to ask you, do you love yourself? Secondly to that, I want to ask you, do you respect yourself? Do you respect your own body in such a way that you're gonna treat it like you respect it? For example, if you respect your body, that's gonna influence, if you respect who you are, that's gonna influence what you say yes and what you say no to. It's gonna influence how you present yourself, your clothing, your makeup. It's gonna influence the way you eat, the way you exercise, the way you spend your time. Then I want to ask you, do you respect men? And how much do you respect men? And then if we respect men, do we take responsibility for the way we clothe ourselves? And then do we respect them in such a way that we can also enter into a way of honoring them by adapting a little bit of our behavior so we can make it easier on them, or we cannot tempt them, for example. Just as we are supposed to put out certain boundaries and we expect men to respect those boundaries and to, for example, not rape other women, can men expect from us that we respect them in such a way that we are not going to bring them into a place of temptation? That's the second question I want to ask you. Thirdly, men are not the only one to get tempted, girls. In this case, I want you to know that if a man in a speedo would walk down a room, or you see a man walking in his bare chest with abs, do you then look? Yes, of course, you look. So if we do it, if we are prone to it, how are we to say of men that then they shouldn't look and they should learn to respect us? No, we should learn to respect them too. We are not just the only ones who get to ask that from them. We need to give respect, but we also need to earn it. So the question is, with our behavior, the way we dress, the way we walk through life, the way we do life, the choices we make, the way we present ourselves to the world, do we deserve respect? And do we behave in a way that is respectable? Then I want to ask you, with that said, you deserve to be respected in a way that you are the daughter of the Most High King and God. Do you know that that is who you are? And do you behave and show yourself in that way, in that matter? Because with that brings it that you are invaluable. You cannot be paid. Your value is not measurable. We have rocks on the sidewalk everywhere, but you are this one diamond in God's kingdom that's rare, it's unique, and it cannot be paid. It's impossible. So that diamond deserves respect. You're not gonna just use it for the pavement. That would be a violent harassment of the diamond. But that diamond also needs to shine to deserve the respect. If it's covered in mud or it covers itself in mud, it's not going to work. So if we want men to respect us, what do I do to reserve that respect? Men, if you want women to respect you, what do you do to earn that respect, to deserve that respect? And if I, as a woman, want men to respect me, do I show that respect to men as well? And how do I show it? Men, if you want women to respect you, to love you, then do you show that same respect to women as well? Now, I want to talk to you about covering yourself up. Because the question remains not just do you know how valuable you are as the daughter of the Most High King and God, as the son of the Most High King and God, but do you also know what kind of guy you want? For me, I have taken quite a journey from before I got saved, as in I went partying, clubbing, clothes, everything that went with it, drinking. I did not respect nor value myself. But I have come on a journey where I have learned that if I want a certain man, if I want a relationship with God, and if I have values, as in I need my man to be a Christian, I want him to love God first and me only second, I'll always come at a very comfortable second place because God comes first. If I want my man to be a leader and to lead me, if I want my man to respect me, then I need to be worthy of such a man. That means I need to make sure that I'm a woman that can go with that man, that suits well with that guy. Because that kind of guy is looking for a specific kind of woman that fits with him. So if you want a man like that, or I don't know which kind of man you want, but if you want a Christian guy, are you gonna stand with him? Is he gonna see you and respect you the moment he looks at you? The way you present yourself, or the way we present ourselves, me too, is gonna determine a lot of that. Now, what kind of man do you want? What kind of values do you have? What kind of values does he need to have? And the way you present yourself, is that gonna help with that or not? Because remember, bees are not attracted to vinegar. Bees are attracted to honey. So if you want that type of guy, then you need to be that type of girl to attract that kind of guy. It's not gonna work otherwise. So I want to leave you with this. 2 things. First of all, you can now ask me like, Natanya, what does covering yourself up then mean? Well, I'm not gonna place any rule on anyone. You need to decide that for yourself. But a good guideline can be, if I am dressed the way I am dressed right now and I would stand next to Trevor, would he be okay with it? And would I feel embarrassed? You can also use your dad's name. You can definitely use Trev's name. Would I dare to talk with Trev right now and stand next to him when I would be dressed like this? And that's a good way to actually go about cover yourself up. How far do you need to go? Now, the second thing I want to ask you, this whole debate that we had on Monday, it all comes down to decide your guide. That means you need to decide where your morality lies. You need to decide how you're going to do relationships. For me, I made my decision. My relationships will be based on the Bible. The way how I date, the way I dress myself will be based on the Bible. The Bible is my guide. Now with that goes nothing else. No feminism, no politic movement. The Bible's your guide, not culture, the Bible. And I know that's anti-cultural. I'm the first one to say that. But decide your guide. Decide your guide. Your guide can be perfectly anything else. The choice is completely up to you. But I want you to think about this. If you want that Christian guy, then you need the Bible to be your guide. What kind of guy do you want? What kind of life do you want to live? Who is going to be your guide in this situation? So that was me for today. Have fun answering the questions. And remember, bees are not attracted by vinegar, they are attracted by honey. And I'd say enjoy your week, enjoy the nice weather, and I'll see you this weekend. Bye!